Hi guys, it's been a minute. I said that I was gonna start doing more YouTube and more vlogs, and I got a vlogging camera and I was like, I'm gonna shoot video all the time. But it's actually a lot harder than I thought. It's very time consuming, it's a lot of editing, and a couple of you guys have messaged me and said that you really miss Vulnerable and you miss content by myself. Obviously I have the podcast On the Sidewalk, shout out On the Sidewalk. But some of you guys want just me. You miss Vulnerable. And those messages really warm my heart. I'm like, oh my God. I think towards the end of it, I was getting a little bit in my head because I was just like, it's a lot of me content when I moved back to Atlanta. And I was like, I don't know if people are tired of this. I feel like I'm running out of things to say. But yeah, it's very nice to know and very sweet to know that you guys miss it a little bit. So I just wanted to come on here and give you some life updates. I just had a housewarming party this weekend. And I feel like I sound like I'm joking and kidding whenever I'm I only have a couple of friends. But honestly, a lot of my friends from the city have moved and I really don't have that many, but it's also a teeny tiny studio apartment. So only a few people can fit in here anyway. So I had a cute little housewarming. The theme was a fresh start. And all of you guys know, especially the Vulnerable stands, know how much of a struggle it was for me to get to this point and get this apartment. And I was like, okay, this milestone deserves to be celebrated because I worked my ass off getting to this moment. And I also have been having a really hard time with procrastination lately. And the only thing that forces me to get something done is having a deadline. And so I kind of made the party for the sole reason of forcing myself to have a deadline, to have this apartment put together and done. And in true Chelsea form, I had a TaskRabbit here the morning of the party to hang up my new shelves and my mirror. I haven't really shown you guys. I kind of want to show you, but I don't want to move the camera. I'll show you at the end. But yeah, the housewarming was really sweet. It was exactly what I needed it to be. It ended up just being 5 girlfriends, and we sat and we chatted, and it was girlhood. And they brought flowers and everyone wore floral dresses and outfits, and it was just so cute. And I feel exactly what I needed right now because I have kind of been feeling a little bit sad about just transitional phases with friendships right now in my life. If you listen to On the Sidewalk, I talked about this a little bit, but a lot of my friends, it's a second wave of friends, are getting married this year. And I adore my friends and I'm so happy for them and I'm so happy they found their people and I can't wait to celebrate them and see them get married. But part of it is almost mourning the loss of what your friendship was or how your friendship was, because inevitably the relationship's gonna change. My friendship's not gonna be the same with these people as it was when we were both in college or when we were both single and dating, and now they found their person and that's amazing and that's going to be their person. They're not going to want to do the same things or spend the same amount of time with me, necessarily going out or whatever. Not that married people can't go out or whatever, but it's not even just marriage. I said my second batch of friends is getting married now because my first batch got married a while ago, and now that whole group of them, they're planning for children. The other day in my group chat, it's literally a group chat of 5 of my closest friends. There's 5 of us from high school and middle school. And I sent them I made a PowerPoint. It's not a PowerPoint, it was in Canva, but I made a presentation, a deck, and sent it to them. And I pitched them the idea of having a girls trip. And I was like, okay, maybe if I take it very seriously, obviously it was mostly for funny, to be funny. But I was also, if I pitch them a plan, nobody can say no, we have to plan it in advance, perfect. And we're trying to pick a date where all 5 of us can be available. And of course, 2 of them already have kids and they're planning for a second kid. And then the other 2 are planning for their first kid. And I was the first time we're all gonna be available when nobody's pregnant is gonna be 2025, 2026. Because they were oh, well, it'd be more fun to go on this trip when we're not pregnant. And I'm yeah, but at least one of you is gonna be pregnant until 2026. And so then I just felt not that they're excluding me or anything, obviously, but I just felt really out of place in my own group chat. And these are my closest friends. I consider them family. And so it just felt really hurtful, I think, to feel out of place with these people that I feel most myself around. And so it's just like an unexpected sadness right now, because I feel like this is just like a mourning that nobody talks about, because I'm not losing my friends, but I'm losing my friends as I knew them. And I just feel really by myself in that, because yes, I have some single friends, but not really any in New York right now. And it's not just about being single. Like Cash had asked me on the podcast, like, do you think part of it is that you're like envious of your friends a little bit because you want what they have? Like you want to be getting married and you want to be having kids. And I was like, no, like yes, I want those things eventually in their right time. But I am happy being single right now. I think I need to be single. I'm exploring, I'm like dating for the first time really in my adult life. And I'm genuinely like enjoying this exploratory period for me. So yes, eventually I want to get married, but it's not coming from a place of I'm envious of my friends, I want what they have. It's coming from a place of I'm sad that I'm losing my friendships. It just feels really weird. And I'm just like, I feel like I haven't heard anyone talk about this. And my phone must have been listening to me, because I saw a reel pop up, and it was this girl, and she posted like something along the lines of, when you're supposed to be happy because your best friend told you they're pregnant, but like a little selfish part of you is sad because you know your friendship's never gonna be the same. And the comments were roasting, absolutely destroying this girl, saying like, you're the most selfish person on the planet. Like, imagine being jealous of a baby. And I was like, this poor thing, like she had said in her caption, like it was very eloquently put too. Like she wrote a whole caption explaining exactly what she meant by it, not saying I am not happy for my best friend. But she was like, nobody really talks about this like change that you go through with your friends, and if you're not on the same timeline as them, and the friendship changes, and it's like a mourning. And I was like, wow, like I appreciate her posting this, because I really feel like this right now and nobody does talk about it. And she got absolutely destroyed in the comments, but I appreciate her wherever she is. Yeah, so that's like kind of something I'm struggling with right now, friendship wise, because I love and adore my friends. Like they really are family to me, and I have not a huge group of friends, but very close friends. And I always say that like I never go to people's weddings unless I'm in them. Like all the weddings that I'm going to are like people that are very close to me. It's okay that I'm single. That's not really what the feelings are about, because yeah, I'm going to 5 weddings this fall, and it would be so nice if I had a boyfriend or a +1 or whatever. And it's also just weird because I'm like one of the only single ones that's going to be at the wedding. It's not like there's going to be a bunch of singles, because that would be fun. Like if there are a bunch of single guys, a bunch of single girls, like this is a whole dating pool for me. I could be like, I feel like I'm like one of those bridesmaids on 90s and 2000s rom-coms. It's like they were always like, yeah, slutty bridesmaid, like hooking up at the wedding, like that'd be fun. I'm so single right now. But that's not really the case. It's like I'm one of the only single people that's going to be there at all of these weddings. So it's not really a setup situation. But yeah, it's just an interesting transitional time period for me, like early 30s. But speaking of dating and single life, I'm very much enjoying that right now. I feel like I am allowing myself to do more things freely and like not take it all so seriously, and kind of just like say yes to whatever. I'm going out with guys that aren't necessarily my typical type, different age ranges. Like I went on a couple dates with a 26-year-old, then I went on a couple dates with a 34-year-old. I went on some dates with like a VP finance guy, a bartender. Like I'm on the sidewalk. Not in the streets, but I'm on the sidewalk. I'm just like having a good time. And I've been meeting these people in person too, because it's like now that I feel like I've flipped this switch of like, I don't really care to have a boyfriend right now. I'm kind of just like hanging out and seeing what happens and what flows to me. It's like the doors have opened, more opportunity. And I love that. So yeah, that's what's happening in dating and friendship and how I'm feeling. And career-wise, I've been with, I don't really talk about this much, but I've been with my manager. I had a manager for 3 years ever since I got off The Bachelor. And whenever you guys see me do a paid partnership or something, like she's the one who handles all that. But recently we had a conversation and realized it's time to move on. Like I adore her and I think she's great, but I think when you're with somebody for a long amount of time, you kind of just like get too comfy, and like I feel like I've plateaued a little bit and I don't necessarily feel like super excited about the work that I'm doing right now. And I want to do more than just like digital and doing what that means is like social platform paid partnerships. I want to do more than that. And I want like a trajectory. Like I want to feel like my career is going somewhere and I have a plan and I want to do bigger and more things. And I feel like I just needed a fresh set of eyes and that it was time to move on. And it feels like that's just a theme in my life right now. Like my podcast studio, we're not with them anymore. So we just like had to move on. And then my manager, and then there was something else too, that I was just like, everything's kind of being pulled out of my life by the universe. And I think the younger version of me would have been like scared shitless right now because I'm like, everything's changing all at once. What's happening? Why is this happening to me? But now it's more so like, when things leave your life, like you should let them. Like if something's being taken out of your life, trying to hold on does not make that any better. It just makes you more miserable. So I'm just like, I'm allowing things to flow in and flow out as they need to. If it's not working, I'm not forcing anything to fit anymore. I think that's just a good lesson in life, like in dating, in career, in friendships. Like we should not be forcing anything to fit that doesn't fit. And I just like don't have the energy to do that anymore. It's very freeing and less stressful. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. If something's trying to leave my life, I'm like, okay, bye. It must be for the best. So I found a new management team and I'm working on my contract right now and signing with them. So I'm really excited about this kind of like fresh start theme in my life and seeing where that takes me. Like I feel like your team is everything. So it's a little bit scary to trust new people with my entire career. But I'm hoping that these people understand like what I'm trying to do and that it all works out for the best, because I feel like the leap, you got to take a leap at some point, and it's either going to be like really great and amazing for my career or it's not, and then I'll find somebody else. But yeah, that's what's happening with the career. And then hopefully with the podcast and the new management, Cache got new management too, that they kind of find us a home with the podcast, and then that can kind of be bigger and better and take off too. But yeah, oh my God, I was a little bit worried that I forgot how to talk. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done this in so long since Vulnerable. Like, what am I gonna talk about? I'd be yapping, clearly. I did all that with ease. Those are the life updates for now. This felt good. I kind of miss it. I like don't want to commit to being like, I'm gonna do this once a week, but I do really want to do it more and just like talk to you guys like I used to, because I do miss that aspect of Vulnerable. But let me show you my apartment really quick before the sun goes down. Thanks for listening. Love you. Let me know in the comments if you liked this style video, if you want more, what subjects or like topics do you want me to talk about. Just let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Okay, here are the cute floating shelves that I put up the day of the housewarming party. And these are like flowers from the theme that my friends brought me. And then I didn't mount the TV because I didn't get it mount in time. This is my little reading nook. And we mounted the mirror like I showed you guys on Instagram, coffee table, and here's me. And then my cute ass bed. I got a record player. I can't wait to open it. Okay, and then here's my bed. And you guys have seen the curtains. Oh, I put these pictures up too. But here it is. She's looking so good. It feels so homey in here. I love it.